Are you an engineer, a programmer, or a business looking to streamline your programming? I'm joined by Tebis today, and you're going to tell us how we can do it. So, what are NC sets?
In basic terms, NC sets are a way of describing a machining process for an individual feature.
How does that play out? Give me examples. So, if I say a tapped hole.
So, basically, Tebis does a feature recognition process. We're able to then assign an NC set to the individual feature. Now, where most softwares are quite rigid in the feature recognition area, Tebis works within ranges. We use variables and conditional statements that allow us to produce these NC sets to cover whole ranges of features.
So it's almost like a little macro program.
It is absolutely like a macro program. For your example of a threaded hole, Tebis will define the NC set to cover between M2 and M20, say, as an example. We're then able to let Tebis make the decision based on the definition of the feature, what tools it needs to use. So it will pull the tools out of your library, it will assign them a position within the carousel, and basically take care of the programming process for you.
So we're not just talking a tapped hole, we're talking about maybe a spot drill, the drill, threaded hole, and maybe even a countersink at the end. Absolutely.
All the processes that are needed to take care of creating that feature are taken care of within the NC set.
Okay, let's be honest, that's quite a straightforward, feature. How about more complex features or bespoke features I have for my components?
So NC sets are flexible in that we can define them and set them out any way that you like. So any level of complexity that you've got within a feature recognised in Tebis, you can apply that to the NC set. It's up to the programmer to design them, so you can add whatever processes are needed, and we can add any number of processes.
And if we automating that, I'm presuming it's working with some of the other, templates and automation tools?
Like all the automation in Tebis, it's a bit of a multi-layered process. We have features, we have NC sets and templating, all working together to create this fully automated programming process. One of the real strong points with the NC sets is that Tebis is able to make decisions for you with its variable programming and its conditional statements. If we have a situation such as producing an M14 hole, where your biggest drill is a 10mm drill, Tebis will know that it can use the 10mm drill to take out the material, then come in and remachine using an end mill.
Wow.
Before it taps.
Using true automation.
True automation. The next step with that then is if you use the same NC set to produce an M10 hole, but you've got an 8.5 drill, it knows that it doesn't need to do the milling, so it leaves that operation out.
So if we take a look here, it's a milling example, of straightforward features. How about more complex features or even turning?
So Tebis can use a combination of features and NC sets when we're creating full 3D models, 3D surfacing and very complex shapes and complex series of operations. In the broad terms, Tebis doesn't make much of a distinction between turning and milling. As long as we have a machine that's capable of the process, we create the virtual machine that can do it, and Tebis just carries on and uses the NC sets just the same way.
Guess just a feature.
Just a feature.
So within NC sets, there's a lot of automation. We're putting a lot of trust in there. Is there any fail safes available for the operator?
Absolutely. When we go through the feature recognition process, the features can be cross-referenced against colour codes. This gives Tebis all of the information by way of tolerancing, positioning, and limits and surface finishes that are required for the NC set to then take over. The NC set then uses that information to choose the correct tooling, the right cutting conditions, and ensure that our tolerancing and our surface finishes are correct.
So I can see how this is going to help programmers across the UK. So if you're looking to save time on your programming and streamline the process, get in touch with Tebis UK.